KMG introduced the Inversion in 2008. You could describe the Inversion as an inverting version of the KMG Freakout, with 3 gondolas similar to what you can find on a KMG Speed, making a capacity of 12 riders per cycle. The gondolas have the ability to flip freely, but when properly operated, they only do that if the arm is swinging under 90 degrees. For the rest of the cycle, the gondolas are locked. The ride is 24 meters or 79 feet tall, only 3 meters or 10 feet taller than the Freakout. The Inversion fits on just one trailer and takes 4 hours to set up with 2 persons. The prototype Inversion, named Dominator, made its debut on the Dutch fair circuit in July 2008 at the Fair of Tilburg. The model proved to be very popular, with 28 units sold all around the world. It is available as both traveling and park version, but most units are sold as traveling version.
Kissel Entertainment of the US owns a KMG Inversion 12. It was originally bought by PBJ Happy Day Shows in 2009 and was the first Inversion to come to the US. It was sold to Kissel Entertainment sometime around 2017. PBJ Happy Day Shows bought a new Inversion 12 around 2014 and sold their old one to Kissel. It has been traveling with them since and has been to many shows such as the Bluegrass Fair and the Kentucky State Fair. Being a Kissel ride, it is in great shape. However, in the last 2 years, it has seemingly stopped unlocking its gondolas, making for a much less intense cycle. It's hoped that the ride still has the ability to unlock this feature, and it's not been permanently disabled. Overall, there are 28 KMG Inversions operating, with 12 currently traveling in the US. Interestingly, the first half of KMG Inversions produced ended up mostly in Europe, while the second and more recent half of Inversions made have mostly gone to the US.
KMG introduced the Inversion 24 in 2016. This enormous 62 meter or 203 feet tall ride is the bigger version of the Inversion, with double the capacity, 24 riders per cycle, seated in 3 8-person gondolas. Just like the original Inversion 12, the gondolas have the ability to unlock when the arm is swinging under 90 degrees. It uses supports very similar to what KMG used before on their XXL. The Inversion 24 fits on 4 trailers and takes 7 to 8 hours to set up with 5 persons. The ride is available as both transportable and park version, but sadly only one unit has been sold yet, which is a traveling model named Infinity, traveling on the German and Dutch fair circuit with Showman Hoefnagels. This prototype made its debut at the fair in Pforzheim in Germany in June 2016.
Technical Park introduced the LoopFighter in 2010 as competition to the KMG Inversion. It was a combination of their earlier Street Fighter Revolution with the ride vehicles from their Pegasus ride. The first model debuted on the Spanish fair circuit that same year. Like the Inversion, this was a spinning pendulum style ride with a counterweight to allow the entire arm to flip. The seats were similar in concept to the Inversion, being able to be unlocked and relocked by the operator. However, the design of the seats were very different, being based off of the Technical Park Pegasus ride. These seats are set up facing outwards from the center with 4 riders per ride vehicle and 4 ride vehicles in total, making for a capacity of 16 riders per cycle. The arm swings up to a height of 24 meters or 78 feet, making it very visually impressive. The ride is also able to be transported on just one trailer, much like the Inversion 12, making it very popular not just in Europe but also in the US, where transportability is a bigger concern. The ride has a height requirement of 140 centimeters or 55 inches. One example of this ride was the LoopFighter at Niagara Amusement Park, otherwise known as Fantasy Island, New York. This was one of the largest attractions at the park when it was closed and sold to Gene Staples. It's unknown if the LoopFighter will remain open when the park reopens this year. Reithofer Shows in the US also has a traveling LoopFighter that is still traveling with them today around the US. The ride is in great shape and is sure to be a great ride.
And also in Europe there's still a lot of LoopFighters traveling, and there's also a few park installations around the world, in Mexico and Israel, for example.
Technical Park also makes a version of the LoopFighter known as the Mini LoopFighter 12. Introduced around 2013, this is a smaller version of the original LoopFighter marketed as a family ride. Interestingly, with it being marketed as a family ride, its height requirement is unchanged from the full-size LoopFighter, at 140 centimeters or 55 inches. This version of the LoopFighter is much shorter, only reaching 12 meters or 39 feet at its max height, exactly half of the normal LoopFighter. It also has one less ride vehicle, making for a capacity of 12 riders per cycle. Unlike the larger LoopFighter, this model is only available with an automatic cycle. Only a few mini LoopFighters have been sold, with most going to indoor parks and family entertainment centers. FANBOY also made a ride called Inversion in 2010. This ride is much larger than the KMG Inversion 12 or LoopFighter, standing at over 40 meters or 131 feet tall. Like the LoopFighter, this ride has 16 seats.
FANBOY sold two inversions in 2010, one named Inversion XXL to Spanish showman Bañuls, who traveled with it for just one season and then sold it to Dutch showman Ortelman, who still travels with it on the Dutch and German fair circuit. It has changed a lot though. It was recently completely rethemed and renamed to Propeller, and in 2018 they removed one gondola, reducing the capacity to 12 riders per cycle. This is rumored to be because of inspection standards. The other FANBOY inversion is named New World XXL and has been traveling in France since 2010 under various owners. It's currently traveling with showman Klinsmann and underwent a restyle for 2021. Unlike Propeller, this one is still running with its 4 original gondolas.
Alright, now moving on to the ride experience. Now, I have never been on one of these, however, Alex has been on multiple of these, including the LoopFighter.
I have been on at least 4 traveling LoopFighters. It was actually one of my first real inverting rides, and it's a pretty insane ride to start off with, because these things can get really intense, definitely when they release the brakes. If you're lucky, you can get some insanely good swings of the gondola, and sometimes it even passes through the station almost upside down and you get this really forceful swing. It can be really insane, but you can also not be lucky and get no forces at all. That has also happened. This is what makes a LoopFighter fun in my opinion. Every cycle is different, and I really like that. You can also get some great hang time when the whole arm is swinging upside down. And yeah, because of the intensity, it's not the most comfortable ride, but it's definitely fun. I have also been on a KMG Inversion 24 Infinity, which was an insane experience. The forces you experience while going through the station, when the whole ride does the full loop, it's just insane. You get pushed in your seat like nothing else, and the hang time when you're up there, 62 meters in the sky, it's really insane too. However, when they release the gondolas, you don't get that much swing, so it doesn't add that much, the swinging gondolas. But the overall ride experience is really, really great. And I have also been on both FANBOY inversions. They're both really good. However, Propeller was a little bit disappointing because it had an automatic cycle. New World is still operated manually though, and that thing is really, really insane. New World, it has such insane cycles. Really fun ride. Recommended definitely.
Alrighty, well that is about everything we have on the Inversion / LoopFighter rides. If we missed anything or you'd like to add anything, go ahead and mention it in the comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of Flat Ride of the Week, and we will see you next week.